kung bumagsak ang Philippines at ang portfolio mo lahat nasa Pilipinas, ano itsura ng portfolio? But whereas, if you are also invested in Asia, if you're also invested in global equities, for example, then whatever happens to the Philippines, since Philippines is a very, very small portion of global markets, then whatever happens to us, kumbaga, there's always a part of your portfolio na hindi affected and immunized.
Given that nasa 5.557 range tayo ngayon, pero there's a probability na the economy will contract. You're saying, based on your advice, okay lang kahit mag-contract siya ngayon kasi by the time na kailangan mo yung pera 30 years from now, it won't really matter anymore. Kaya kahit may chance na magkaroon ng recession, pasok ka pa rin kasi your timeline is so long that it won't really matter in 30 years.
Yes. But then again, magbabago yung kung timeline mo is 5 years from now or like 4 years from now, right? So, yun, mas sensitive tayo. Pero whatever downside right now, it would just be, immaterial. If you go back to the 2008 recession, parang alam ko from the market high, parang mga like 200% pa tayo. So even 2007 until now, na negative 20% ang market, I think you're still up by around close to 200%. High na yun ng 2007 bull market. So I don't think it should matter on the long term.
We have a very special guest. Bukod sa sobrang yaman niya, he is a accredited investment fiduciary. He's also a chartered wealth manager. He's a registered financial planner. He's a certified financial consultant, and he's also a financial consultant for Wealtharchy. Welcome to the vlog, Mr. Rienzie Biolena. So,
hello Marvin.
How's the lockdown?
Okay naman. Ito, mahaba na buhok from semical to semi-semical.
Okay, let's do it. Sige, continue.
Yeah, hello din sa iyong millions of subscribers and viewers.
Now, here's what's interesting. Rienzie, you've been a very, very long time tenured financial planner. You've seen crashes and everyone knows your story na linagay mo yung wedding fund mo sa equity funds before nag-crash yung market, and I'm sure you have a lot of learnings. So, I want to zero in into stock investing and equity investing. I'll give you a profile. Number 1,
okay.
20 years old, no debt, meaning no personal loan, credit card is okay. Has savings, emergency fund is covered. Tapos his business, his job is safe naman. The cash flow is still coming in. Tapos aside from all of that, this person has extra cash na pwedeng gamitin that he does not plan to touch for 30 years. 30 years old, the money will be for 60, may extra siya na pera. The question is, given that the market has dropped a lot, and given na at this time na we're making the video, wala pang cure sa coronavirus, wala pa rin vaccine, there will be a lot of volatility, there's fears that there might be a recession, what do you advise? Should that person come in right now and buy? Or should they wait until things get better?
Okay. Well, definitely no. I'm happy to know that wala siyang debt, he has savings, not a lot of 30-year-olds na alam natin, di ba? Cash flow is okay. And then he's also advanced mag-isip. Di ba? He's looking for the long term already. So that being said, he's on the right path already. But yeah, long-term investing, ako talaga I believe that the stock market, equities market is really ideal for long-term investment kasi talagang maski with the ebbs and flows of the market, talagang you would be beating inflation with the equities market. So yeah, I think it's a good way to invest right now in the stock market. Whether he would be investing already or mag-aantay pa, well, we're living in uncertain times right now. Okay, so yun nga, baka mag-recession pa globally, we still don't know. Some are saying baka 2021 pa umakyat ang market, baka mas mahulog pa yung market natin to 5.7 or 5.5. So nobody would can really tell when the market would really bottom out in that regard. So I think that he can go in already in the market now. of how much would still also be a function. If you ask me, it's also a function of how big the amount we're talking about here. Kasi, well, some investors kasi iniisip, like kunwari, 10,000 pesos, 50,000 pesos, sabihin na lang natin the market would drop by around 10% pa, okay, from current level. So, if at 50,000 pesos ang pinag-uusapan natin, that 10% is 5,000 pesos. So, if you'd be asking me, then worth it pa ba i-time yung 5,000 pesos? Yung iba kasi nag-i-invest, nagtatanong pa. Tapos pag tinanong mo yung investment, not for anything else, 1,000 pesos, di ba? Eh, if the market goes down by 10%, 20%, ano ba naman ang 1,000 pesos? It's just like what? 100, 200 pesos. So, kumbaga, timing the market for me is also a function of materiality. If the amount in question is material. If you're talking about, before meron ako naging kliyente, tumawag sa akin one time, Rienzie, meron ako ditong 50 million. Bahala ka na. Siyempre nakakaba yun kasi that was during the pigs crisis, yung Portugal, Ireland, Greece, and Spain. No? So 50 million, kung magko-compute ka, bumaba ang market ng 1-2%, 500,000 din yun. Diba? For a 50 million. Eh, malaki na rin ng 500,000 pesos. So I think for him, no, it's also kumbaga matter of materiality. If we're talking like 1 million or 10 million, then I think we could be more circumspect in going into the market. So siguro kada market dip or kada dumikit yung market sa support na nakikita natin, then he could deploy. If one go, kung halimbawa maliit lang naman like 10, 50,000, I think one go pwede na yon. Or pwede din tayong gumawa ng cost averaging as well, yung tinatawag na PCA, di ba? So at certain certain months, like kunwari monthly, okay, at whatever level the market is, then he could also go in as well. So we have to fine tune the recommendation for him, but yes, he should be investing in the stock market at this level. Dapat pinag-iisipan niya na yan. And how much he would be investing, I think that in every dip, pwede na siyang pumasok.
Meron bang demarcation line na ina-advise mo sa mga clients mo na, ops, pag ganito na kalaki, better hatiin. Pag less than ganito, okay pa yan. Tolerable pa mag-one go.
Okay. So I think that's also, titinan din natin dyan, is ano ba yung nakikita ng mga analysts and forecasters and even fund managers kung gaano pa malalaglag yung market. So kung halimbawa nakikita nila malaki pa yung downside potential, and kunwari current market levels malaki pa yung ibabagsak, then I think mas mag-hold off muna ako, and kumbaga mas hahatiin ko yung pera para at least I could be averaging down, or pwedeng I could wait muna to deploy dun malapit sa primary or even secondary support. But I think as well, kung manipis lang na naman yung nakikita na downside ng mga experts or analysts, kunwari sabihin natin right now, 5.7 ang market as we are talking today, 5.7 ang market, tapos sabihin, nakikita kasi right now, ang primary support or strong support is at 5.5. So at that level, manipis lang naman ang pinag-uusapan na bagsak ng market, then I think that regardless of siguro at least 500,000, at least pwede nang maging circumspect on that regard. Kasi minsan ang hati ko 50-50, minsan 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Pag ganyan kasi, of course, tinitingnan din natin yung overseas market, yung volatility index, for example, yung volatility index sa US, kung heightened pa siya at historical high, then mas maghihinay-hinay ako sa pag-deploy ng market.
Ito interesting. I'm just gonna give a scenario, no? For example, 5.7. So, they enter half. Then, pagdating ng 5.5, as what mentioned, may support doon, they enter the remaining half. What if the market dips lower? What do you advise people na since it went lower already than your buy price, since your horizon is long, hold ka pa rin? Is that the strategy?
Yeah, kasi a lot of people kasi presume that they could know the market bottom. Diba? So all of those kasi for me are in hindsight. Kasi when you're at 5.5, hindi mo naman alam kung mahuhulog pa. Nung yung market natin, for example, nag 4,900, nag 5,000, nobody knew, nobody was investing, mahuhulog pa ba ng 3,000 to? Pero nung umalagwa na, nung nag 5.7 na, nag-nearing to 6,000 na, yung iba naman na feeling naman na iwanan na. So nobody could really say, and I was with the bank kasi before when 2008 came, the recession, I was in the bank, nobody really called na ito na yung bottom. And in fact, if I remember it right, no, during 2008 recession, for 3 months, I think from June to, or going to September of 2008, nagkaroon pa ng market run-up of about 20%. For 3 months, 3 months nag-20% pa. So kung medyo short-term ang approach mo, feeling mo maiwanan ka na or papasok ka pa or pumasok ka na kasi feeling mo 20% up na, you're out of the woods already. But after that 3 months, saka pa nag-bottom ang market, mas nahulog pa yung market. So nobody can really know the bottom. Ako kasi I'm more prudent in this regard, and I could humbly say na I could not really know the bottom. I cannot time the bottom. So kumbaga, given the set of information that I have right now, then this is the forecast and this is my recommendation. Kung may nangyari that's outside of our forecast, then I just have to forgive myself kasi, I don't have a crystal ball. But given the best of my ability, I would time the market. Yung 50 million pala na nakwento ko dati, parang awa naman ng Diyos, na-miss lang namin yung market bottom at that time by 1 percentage point. After that, hindi na. Umakyat na siya.
And you're saying this naman kasi kung yung time horizon nila is very, 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 very long, kung bumaba man siya, parang you're saying that they can still wait it out naman. Tapos
yes.
Walang threat sa cash flow, walang threat sa cash nila. So, yung kailangan nila exercise siguro discipline tsaka patience na hindi dapat sila kabahan pag
nangyari. Yes. Kasi di ba parati nating sinasabi that investing is a sprint, no, not a marathon. Kumbaga, 30 years old yung case natin ngayon, 30 years pa pinag-usapan for retirement. Kung bumaba man ang market ng 1 or 2 percentage point or even 5%, what's 5% for the next 30 years? So, kumbaga, it's really immaterial already. And kung may extra cash pa siya, since healthy naman ang kanyang cash flow, then pwede pa siyang mag-add dun sa bottom talaga. Of course, talagang kailangang i-handhold talaga yung kliyente. Of course, kasi kung high naman ang volatility index sa US, kung historical high, tapos medyo add ka pa ng add, parang medyo kailangan munang maghinay-hinay ng kaunti.
Given that nasa 5.557 range tayo ngayon, pero there's a probability na the economy will contract. You're saying, based on your advice, okay lang kahit mag-contract siya ngayon kasi by the time na kailangan mo yung pera 30 years from now, it won't really matter anymore. Kaya kahit may chance na magkaroon ng recession, pasok ka pa rin kasi your timeline is so long that it won't really matter in 30 years.
Yes. But then again, magbabago yung kung timeline mo is 5 years from now or like 4 years from now, right? So, yun, mas sensitive tayo. Pero whatever downside right now, it would just be, immaterial. If you go back to the 2008 recession, parang alam ko from the market high, parang mga like 200% pa tayo. So even 2007 until now, na negative 20% ang market, I think you're still up by around close to 200%. High na yun ng 2007 bull market. So I don't think it should matter on the long term.
When there's a lot of fear, Warren Buffett will always make this quote that buy when there's blood in the streets. Pero meron din naman quote na do not catch a falling knife. Normally, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you see the markets going down. Tatahiin ko to sa sinabi mo na you're not looking for the market bottom. No one has a crystal ball kung saan yung market bottom. Pero at the moment na madaming fear, parang how do you tell people to ignore the emotion na dapat pumasok ka na kasi sobrang pera naman yan eh. How do you condition people that at the time na nakakatakot, kunyari, Ayala Land at 19 pesos, Jollibee at 19 pesos, SM Prime at 25 pesos, 24 pesos, at the height of maximum fear, without knowing kung saan yung bottom, how do you tell them na, teka, galing 53 yung Ayala Land yan, galing 300 yan Jollibee yan, galing 43 yan SM Prime na yan. How do you tell them na hindi nila kailangan sundan yung emosyon nila, tignan na lang nila yung gusto nilang bilhin?
I myself, I'm not immunized. Okay, I'm not immunized to the volatility, to being rattled by the market. I mean, si circuit break ka, di ba? Parang first 15 minutes of trading. So talagang, ano to, di ba? But, you know, whenever I feel rattled, ang secret ko dyan, I go to this certain website, okay, and that is tradingeconomics.com. And then, hahanapin ko yung Dow Jones Industrial Average, okay, which is the US stock market, and i-click ko doon kasi may kita mo doon yung different stock markets eh. I would click there all. Meaning, makikita mo ang Dow Jones Industrial Average from 1900s until today. And you know, ang makikita mo doon, if you would see that, makikita mong stock market ng US, pag ganun, paakyat talaga siya. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin nun? Okay, imagine, the US stock market, nag-1930s, Great Depression na, nag-World War I, nag-World War II, nagkaroon na ng Asian financial crisis, nagkaroon ng dot-com bubble, nagkaroon ng Great Recession, and it is still up. I mean, di ba, what could be worse than 2 world wars and a Great Depression and another Great Recession, all of them combined, but it's still up. Okay? So yeah, I go to that website. Okay, you can check it out. Google mo lang, tradingeconomics.com plus DJIA, Dow Jones Industrial Average, and you would see there, paakyat ang stock market. So, again, 2 world wars, akyat pa rin. So, di ba, what does that say about the stock market? It always recovers. So, don't be, yes, they could be unnerved, they could be anxious, but don't panic. We'll tell you when to panic.
So,
we'll tell you when to panic.
Okay, we'll tell you when to panic. But just to add to that, no, kasi we had met with some economists dito sa vlog, and sinasabi din nila that this pandemic, this economic crisis, then the 2008 crisis was a financial crash. Ito, it's different kasi kahit gusto gumastos ng mga tao, because hindi rin sila makalabas, wala rin silang panggastos. And because of that, di sila gumagastos, may ripple effect yan na madaming businesses din na sanga-sanga na matatamaan. My next question is, since wala pang cure, wala pang vaccine, based on all of your credentials as a superstar financial planner, how do you think this will play out? W reversal, V reversal, U-shape reversal. What type of reversal are we seeing? Are we seeing a drop, tapos biglang boom, akyat tayo kagad? Or are we seeing a U-shape na medyo mas tatagal? Or are you seeing a drop, akyat ng konti, then drop again, then it will look like a W, then it starts to finally go up again?
I really am not an economist, no, but so far from my research, okay, from reputable institutions, companies, and even experts abroad, they're seeing a U-shaped recovery for not just in the Philippines but in the full kumbaga global as well. So hindi siya V, hindi siya W, but they're seeing more of a U-shaped recovery. Some are saying na baka canoe shape, so kumbaga mas malawak na mas malaking U, but wala masyadong nagsasabi ng canoe shape. So far a lot has been telling na U-shape ang recovery. So I think I'll stick to that for a U-shape one. Anyways, kung U-shape naman yan, then, continue to invest and continue adding to your stock market portfolio for the long term.
Ito pa interesting. Pag U-shape yung scenario, yung sabihin steep drop, tapos magsa-sideways yan, magko-consolidate yan for a long period of time, then breakout. You said it na habang nagko-consolidate, habang nagsa-sideways, that's a good time to accumulate a lot para pag ganun niya, madami ka na posisyon. Any idea based on your studies, this area na magko-consolidate siya, are you talking about months? Are you talking about years before this actually starts to go up?
Really depends on a lot of factors. Kasi like the 2008 recession, mga 2 to 3 years yan bago mabawi yung up niya. Prior to that, merong mga like 10 years na sideways ang market. On the US side, recession spanned from months to years. So, each recession is unique. So, wala akong nakikitang average. So, kumbaga, I think that we just have to play it by ear. We cannot say na next week okay na to, next month or next week okay na to. or next year okay na to, because recessions ranged from months to years. And really, so far, kasi I'm also writing for Money Sense magazine, no? So far, sa mga na-interview ko ng mga fund managers, kasi every time that I write for Money Sense magazine, parating merong outlook yan or forecast for next year. O, ilang percent ang yakit ng index for next year, fund market. And so far, sa mga na-interview kong fund manager, parang wala pang, well, konti pa lang yung nakakatama. Siguro out of 5 years or 6 years na nagsulat ako, parang 2 years pa lang na tumama yung mga forecast. But I'm not saying I'm not saying that do not believe or, we just throw it off yung mga market position. But whatever we read right now or hear from maybe forecast that we're having right now, I think we can take it more as a guidance, more of as a gospel. So if a lot of them are saying na magtatagal pa to or tingin nila mag-bottom na to. So I think we should take it like with a grain of salt na lang. And kung magkatotoo, then fine, di ba? Okay yun. Kung di magkatotoo, then, we cannot really naman see everything. Basta, ang masasabi ko lang is that we should also manage our risk. We're not just here to manage our returns, yung upside ng stock market, pero dapat i-manage din natin yung risk natin. So kumbaga, I know that a lot of us right now are also invested in the Philippine stock market, but you can also explore, investing offshore as well. Kasi may mga alam akong instruments right now na even peso denominated, they invest in global technology firms, they invest in Asia, they invest in global equities. Ito peso denominated to So kumbaga, in terms of portfolio management, you're already managing your country risk. Kasi nga naman, kung lahat ng investment mo, Philippine stock market or Philippine bonds, you're subject to country risk, which is the Philippines. So kung bumagsak ang Philippines at ang portfolio mo, lahat nasa Pilipinas, ano yung itsura ng portfolio? But whereas, if you are also invested in Asia, if you're also invested in global equities, for example, then whatever happens to the Philippines, since Philippines is a very, very small portion of global markets, then whatever happens to us, kumbaga, there's always a part of your portfolio na hindi affected and immunized.
Going global, are there any suggested countries that pwede nilang tignan? Are you specifically looking at China, US, or at least sa mga nanonood dito, pwede nilang i-research na kagad na, baka pwede to. Kasi yun din it's a very, very good idea to be diverse.
Of course, US is there. For Asia, kasi medyo volatile pa yung Asia right now. So, I would still not touch Asia right now. Pero yeah, I'd go US, tapos a bit on Europe as well. Kasi maganda yung fundamentals ng Europe and they've been really having some gains as well on the European end. For the developing markets, yeah, pwedeng paunti-unti din on the developing market. So it's just a matter of diversification. Anyways, naman yun there are a lot of funds out there in the market. So you did not go country by country, but you can invest into funds tapos sila na bahala mag-manage on your behalf.
Pero should people be concerned that yung US print ng pera to be able to solve their parang economic crisis? Should that be a concern, or you think they're doing the right thing because ganun yung ginawa nila ng 2008 but ano yung kapalit nun sa atin later on as investors, that they just keep on printing Q infinity, they just keep on printing money for to salvage their economy, to keep cash moving?
Dapat tingnan din natin yung fiscal side ng US economy, meaning yung suporta na binibigay ng government, yung kanilang fiscal spending. I know that post-war, I think it's World War II, post-World War II, ang ginawa ng US to boost the economy is to build highways and roads to support the economy. So, kumbaga, parang yun yung version na ng build infrastructure. So, in terms of managing the economy kasi, it's one side yung monetary policy, yun yung printing ng money, central bank, interest rate, etc., etc. But another side as well of managing economy is yung fiscal side, of which saan ba gumagastos yung gobyerno? Ano ba yung mga sectors na binibigyan nila, for example, ng support, ng loans, or even ano pa ba, yung mga tipong monetary support as well, business support, or consumer support, or even tax breaks. So on the fiscal side, I think we should also think on that end kung paano din nila minamanage yun. And so far naman, mukhang natutuwa naman yung mga markets. They're quite happy with the fiscal spending na ginagawa ng US. Kumbaga, medyo nag-uptick ang market. No? If the market is any judge, then I think we should look also on the fiscal side, not just on the monetary side. So I think balance naman. And besides, apart from the US, ang China din naman is the GDP nila is mataas din, like close to 200 or 300%. They're also highly leveraged.
Okay, pero relating that to the Philippine markets, what's the Philippines naman doing? I know they're lowering the reserve ratio, they're lowering interest rate.
Yeah.
What do you think, based on what the government is doing and what the private sector is looking at? What are the at least industry sectors that you think will do better off in the next few months?
Yeah, consumer stocks would be pretty much resilient. Of course, utilities, sa mga nakakausap kong fund manager, their top picks would be utilities, so far yung mga consumer stocks as well. But from one fund manager na nakausap ko, when the market does recover, ang unang-unang aakyat are index funds. Kasi pag umakyat ang market, the foreign money would come in already. So babalik na yan, yung mga foreign funds. And ang unang pick parati niyan, they buy the index. So index stocks ang unang magbe-benefit when the market recovers. And after the foreign funds would have bought the index already, pag pumasok na yan, then kumbaga second wave or yung second wave of na makaka-benefit from the influx of foreign funds would be the consumer stocks. It's not always a question of should I buy index or should I buy these stocks, but it's a matter of blending them, having a blended portfolio para whichever way the market goes, you emerge as a winner. So yeah, you can do a blended index stocks and then meron ka ring consumer stocks.
Okay. Last two questions. Balikan ko yung question ko sa start. May sobrang pera, 30 years, mukhang aggressive, may cash, walang threat sa cash flow, walang debt. How should be their portfolio mix also in terms of what do you recommend given na long yung timeline tas aggressive naman? Kailangan pa ba niya mag-bonds or puro purely stocks/equities dapat paglagyan niya?
If you're talking about 30 years, stocks yan. Pure stocks yan. I don't see the value of bonds kasi kapag naglagay ka ng bonds sa portfolio mo, hihira lang ng return yan or hindi mo ma-maximize yung return mo kung 100% stocks ka. Kasi kunwari, 80-20 ka. Basta yung 20% bonds, 30 years naman ang pinag-uusapan natin. So, 30 years, I'd rather go full stock portfolio, 100%. But of course, kapag hindi naman forever long-term ang 30 years, di ba? So, I think kapag mga nasa age 55 na siya, then I think dapat wala na siya sa stock market or 57. Siguro, bigyan mo ng palugit ng mga 3 to 5 years. Of course, depending on market conditions at that time, but if the 2008 recession is any indication, 3 taon yun bago ma-recover yung high. So siguro it's also, and it's what we also call in portfolio management, de-risking. So siguro magbigay ka ng palugit na 3 to 5 years before age 60. So age 55 or 57, wala na siya sa stock market. Bakit? Number 1, because nobody can really predict a recession. Number 2, you cannot really predict when the bottom would end. And then of course, number 3, you already de-risk. Para age 55, for example, mag-recession man at age 57, age 58, or age 56, you're already out of the stock market. You've managed your risk, you've managed your downside. So mag-recession man kayo dyan, nakuha ko na yung pera ko, happy na ako, hindi na ako kakabahan. So yun, pwedeng mag-bonds na lang siya during that time or money market.
Galing. Final question. As an accredited investment fiduciary, chartered wealth manager, registered financial planner, certified financial consultant at sobrang yaman, what's your advice to people that entered the market 9,000, 8,000, 7,000 sila pumasok and right now, hindi na sila nakabenta, they're sitting on paper losses. Let's just assume ganun din, long term sila. What do you advise?
Okay. For those of you who have bought at 7,000, 9,000, okay, wag kayong don't panic. Again, we'll tell you when to panic, but okay, just stay chill, okay? I mean, we've been here, 2008 recession, 2007, okay? Maski nag-invest ka on the top of the market, nag-2008 recession, you still have like, what, 150, perhaps 200% na up pa hanggang ngayon. So, maski bumili ka on a market high, if your horizon is 20, 30 years down the road, it doesn't matter what's 1 or 2 years of market downturn. Okay, in fact, this is the very, very best time for you to buy and then average out yung loss natin. And when the market goes up eventually, then you'd be emerging as a winner.
Sabi ko last question yun, pero I want to say this. What's your comment sa mga taong naiinip? Naiinip sila parang, ang tagal ko na, naka 2 years na ako, negative ako. What can you tell them naman?
Yeah, the stock market that also teaches us patience. Okay? Kasi sabi nga ni Warren Buffett, di ba? And Warren Buffett kasi is an investor talagang bibili ng business, tapos papalaguin yung pera. Ngayon, sila Ayala, sila SM investor din yan. Bibili ng lupa, bibili ng business, and they watch the value of their investment grow. So, think of yourself as a Warren Buffett, as a Henry C., as an Ayala, that you bought into a business, meaning you bought into Ayala Corporation, you probably bought into SMPH, you bought into Meralco, and then yes, this is just temporary, but you believe in the business, you've done your research, so this is just, kumbaga, one step backward because eventually, mag 2 steps forward ka pa rin. So, again, stay your cool, just be chill, okay, and then, again, the market is not a sprint, it is a marathon.
Galing. You have a YouTube channel, how can people reach you?
Yes, yeah. You can reach us through our YouTube channel. Okay, that's Wealth Archie YouTube channel. So we have there a lot of videos on insurance, investment, tips again on personal finance. You can also catch us up in our Facebook page, Wealth Archie. Tapos sa Twitter handle ko at Biolena.
Masaya yung masaya yung channel nila. Daming mga jokes.
Lokohan lang yan, lokohan.
Madami kayong matututunan. So, 15 years worth of experience. I hope you guys got a lot from that. If you have any questions, comment them below and then we'll try to see how we can make more videos on top of that. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us and I hope you got so much value from Rienzie's advice. At the end of the day, whatever he said, my suggestion, research pa rin. Do not just buy anything just because people would say it. At the end of the day, it's your money, it's your responsibility. You have to take the time and you have to do the due diligence kasi it's at the end of the day, it's you who should do the trigger on how you should buy and invest for your finances. So that's it for now. Marvin Germa with Rienzie Biolena. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. Bye everyone.